not even sure what to expect, but everybody's told me this is the summit to be at. This is the place to go and the thing to do. That's why I'm here. I've always liked San Diego. It's quite beautiful, spacious, more laid back than LA. Maybe I'll move here someday. Last time I said that ended up happening when I said that about Santa Cruz. Here at the summit. I'm a little late, but I'm here. We're here, we did it. Dr. Larry.
We're ready to roll. I'm here, you're here.
I'm here, we're here.
They should be starting right now. We're here.
Way back, way back. That's how far back.
That's not too bad.
I'm feeling special. How about you?
Ready to go.
They need to know who you are because they don't think that you're just some random guy or like my gay lover or something.
Well, those are all true. I'm an ER doctor, and I got my own little website, drlarry.com. I have an aspiring YouTube channel. I mean, I've been trying to figure this stuff out for years, and it's been a pretty damn expensive hobby in process.
This better be good. You dragged me out here. Somewhat overwhelming, somewhat underwhelming. San Diego is always cool. I really like this city. I don't spend enough time here, but I really like San Diego. I don't know what to think of this summit. It feels like it's been going on for longer than 6 hours, and then some of it's just rather underwhelming and sales pitchy. I guess that's to be expected, but it's not cheap to come here, so I expect to take a lot home. I forget how dry the air can be in San Diego. It's like I just took a shower and I almost didn't have to use a towel. It just sort of got dry just by standing there. 2 more days of this and I'll feel like I've gotten my money's worth. And I knew one of the things was that there was gonna be constant sales pitches, and that's actually kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a good model, a good marketing model. And I know that I have to pay for that. I'm not against paying for things. I know that as a business person, a salesperson, a person who markets stuff. I want value. I want stuff I can take home with me, that I can implement, that I can use. And some speakers just didn't give that. They gave an emotional pitch that makes you feel like you're in scarcity and you got to do something. It just feels empty. It's like they tell you all these things. You feel scared, you feel empty, and then it's like, well, buy my solution and it'll solve that problem. It's like, well, you kind of just created the problem. I didn't really have a problem before you just laid into it like that. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's airplanes flying over. I'm pretty close to the airport. But I did hear some good speakers, some people. I did get some value that I can use right away. Dr. Larry. He messaged me a few months ago. He said, hey, let's go to this thing. And he actually negotiated a good deal on the tickets. He's going out to a party. I kind of wish I was going to that, but I am going out and meeting someone. I don't feel like I'm one of these people so much. I don't feel like I'm a marketer. I feel like I have to do marketing to get my stuff out there. I have to learn something about marketing, but I don't really feel like the people who's going to this conference so much. And that's cool. I'm nothing against these people. I just don't, I don't know, going to a party and trying to network and I don't know, just don't. The party looked cool. The place looked cool. People, I'm sure are cool, but they're just not the kind of people like I vibe with.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Damon Show once again. Here we are.
I have a question for you. Serious medical question.
Uh-oh.
Have you ever seen so many emo men who look like lumberjacks in any one place but here?
You mean wearing the
long beards?
Oh.
It's just weird because we're at like a conference or a summit where everything is like very techy,
yeah,
and it's very modern, and I know it's a style now, but it's like the plaid shirts with the hats and the beards, and they probably have never picked up an axe, never chopped a tree, and never even changed their own oil.
Maybe that's your new business. You show him how to be that rougher, masculine man.
I actually,
MidLife Man?
Yeah, but I don't chop wood.
I chopped some wood.
Well, you're from Kansas, so you would chop wood. I'm from the swamps, so we catch catfish with our bare hands.
Have you done that?
No.
You know, sometimes I think, and this is part of the problem with modern society, sometimes I think like that manual labor stuff, like I miss that. Like if your job is just to split the wood, when you split that wood, that's success.
We're talking about chopping
but
wood.
you can get into the NLP of this. Why was this so satisfying to me?
Traffic and Conversion Summit, we're talking about chopping wood.
Some of these talks are less interesting than chopping wood, so
That's true.
Topic.
The art of chopping wood, and we could make a lot of money.
$6.99. It's going to pop up here in a minute. Everything you need to know, all the things you need to get, and the axe goes, and you're like, oh.
There's a life metaphor that's coming up, I'm sure. Keep going.
You could take that as
my arm's getting tired. It's like,
it's MidLife Man.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, you're a midlife man, right?
The crisis is upon me.
Are you willing to disclose your age on video?
39.
39.
Yeah.
So at 39, you're actually at midlife because the average age that a man lives in California is 78.
So I had this realization, but it's not yet, it's 40. But when 40 hits, it's going to be full-on midlife crisis, buy a Ferrari, move to somewhere.
Well, no, do it now, get it over with. I even suggest that you get it over with like at 35. Think about it like this, if you're 40, the next 20 years of your life, you will be able to do things that you will not be able to do the following 20 years. So think about it, between 40 and 60.
That causes anxiety.
This is it. This is time. Like, there's no more waiting. There's no more, even though you're 39, there's no more waiting, whatever, 6 months or whatever to time that you're 40. Yeah, so I don't care that you're a doctor.
Here's the thing
got to get young women for you at 60 are going to be 49, not 20.
That's not what I was thinking about.
That's
but
what was
now
provoking the anxiety.
Now that you've magnified my anxiety about it, when you set it up like that when you kind of, put me in that state, then it makes me think, oh, I should live this life like I got 6 months to live, like I'm dying of cancer. I should go travel everywhere, do all of these things that
silly.
I always wanted to do.
That's kind of silly.
But then the other side of it is, I want things like to build a platform or to build a business that take more time.
My thing is
doing that stuff.
That if you don't face this head on, then it turns into a crisis. Then that's when you start just trying to distract yourself by buying the Ferrari, dating the woman 20 years younger than you. Like I'm not even against those things. I think those are great things.
Sheepy 19.
Run it. Walk right into it and say, okay, well this means I need to make.
Let me tell you,
I need to make it all count.
That was the thing that really was just like, whoa. There is this inner conflict of, if I get married and settle down, it means I can't put as much time into career. I can't be as mobile. I can't just fly to New York and do a TV show. I can't be between LA and San Francisco. So then there's this conflict that emerged with that, and I still haven't figured it out. Just this complete abundance, excess mentality of something that is scarce and getting smaller. Time.
Yeah, no, time is more valuable than money for sure.
Value.
Without a doubt.
Time.
Sorry to get so depressing.
It's not depressing. It's just inner conflict.
What I would say is urgency. There is an urgency, and I like that. I thrive on that. Like it used to freak me out, but that's the crisis. But that's the pulling away. When you're trying to pull away from this thing and you're trying to not face it, then that's what freaks you out, because every once in a while you get reminded of it and you're like, no, I'm trying to block that out. But if you just go, okay, all right, I'm gonna face this thing head on. This is what this channel is about. It's like,
what would that mean if I faced that head on?
That's what you got to figure out for yourself. For me, part of how I'm doing it is this channel. Like, I'm actually want to see that reflection of myself, but I'm not going to just always be talking to a camera, like trying to give tips and stuff like that. This is not an education channel, it's a vlog. So I'm with my kids sometimes shooting this stuff. I'm traveling. I'm out on dates sometimes. I'm flying my drone sometimes.
Well, I want to see some of those date things. You pop that up right in the middle of dinner and just set this right here for a minute. Don't worry.
Well, in Thailand, I broke the camera out on this woman who was coming to see me, who I had gone out with.
Yeah.
And I was leaving, so she came to see me, and I pulled out my phone to start recording, and she's all playing to the phone because she's an actress. She loved it. And I was like, I should have done this on a date. I should have pulled out.
It would attract more actresses.
things that.
So are you thinking a similar thing will happen as you kind of vlog your life? Is that you'll make it kind of it will add motivation for you?
Create the life that I want to live.
One thing I heard from you was you couldn't do it every day. You couldn't find interesting stuff, or
yeah. And I'm not gonna just be like, oh, I'm eating a plate of food. Let's look at my plate of food.
We need to talk about Instagram stories because that is a medium for your. It's an easy consumable.
And we should get in because it's 3 o'clock.
Because I was going to say some things that I would not say while that's on.
I should turn off the camera then.
You don't get that unless you're in the mastermind. Unless you're in the Damon mastermind.
I think they put the music really loud so people don't stay in here. I really want to see this talk, so I got here early. B-roll.
Talking to her. That'd be kind of funny.
Right there? Wait, let's talk about it before you go. He's gonna go talk to this woman, but she's gonna see me pointing the camera.
Just kind of be subtle.
Alright, I'll be subtle while he goes talk to this woman. What they're saying, you probably can't hear what I'm saying either because it's so loud in here. It kind of makes it pointless. What would you call that? We didn't get kicked out. But what happened in there? we got told to leave from a table.
We were no longer welcome, and they asked us to leave.
Yeah, very directly to me.
Let's look at the. I want to look at the because it was taped. What you said to her was on tape. Let's look at it. This would be a good study to see what.
Vlogging, we're back.
Talking about being 40 versus being.
Do you want to piece of the camera? You want to say hi?
Okay, hi everyone.
This is going on YouTube, just to let you know.
Okay, but like, what's your channel about?
What is your channel about, sir?
My channel is called MidLife Man.
MidLife Man. Oh, did you guys interview Clay Mask today? You didn't.
No.
We did not, but you were so excited. Maybe we'll interview him tomorrow.
He won't be there.
I think they thought I was like some sort of dating coach, and I was trying to pull some trick or something like that, because I was asking this woman about dating and I had the camera on her and she seemed really into the camera right at first. And before, the reason why I pulled out my camera to begin with is because she was being witty and she was getting into banter, like saying she was only 14, and I thought this was funny, so I thought, oh, this might be something good. So I pull out my camera and just like things got serious. We're interviewing you because you like older men, right? You're 40 and above, right?
I'm gonna decline to answer that question.
You don't want to answer that question?
No, I never said that.
You only date 40 and above, right?
I don't date.
You don't date?
No.
Men, you date women?
I don't date in general.
You date women? Are you married?
No. I'm on a no dating spree. I just don't date.
For how long?
Forever.
This is like a cleanse? Like you do a 30-day cleanse?
It's a cleanse. It's a cleanse. You know what? Sometimes you need to be a boss lady, independent, and you don't need no man. You don't need a date.
Well, no, I'm with you on that. Like you don't need a man to support you.
Or for anything.
But you don't like social reasons?
I have a lot of friends.
You don't like men at all? Like you know?
Oh no, I like them as friends.
Okay. Are you straight?
I'm straight, yeah. But what's your question? Like, what's your channel? Yeah, are you here for a dating app?
I'm not here for dating app. No, his channel's not.
Motive is.
No, I just.
Traffic and conversion for dating? How many men have you asked these questions to? Lots of men you ask about dating. So is your business to automate regular? What do you talk about?
I might need to intervene here. I don't know if this is going bad or not.
She felt whatever you guys talked about upset her.
Upset her?
I'm not gonna say what you did, should or shouldn't have or whatever. And then that dude showed up, and I don't know what. I think he kind of felt like he had.
Well, he showed up before, or maybe he was just checking me out. Like, who is this guy?
I think he was.
But we got along. Like he was.
Well, at that point,
when we started talking, it was like I was telling him what I actually do.
I got the over shoulder going here. You're doing great.
I love it.
You're doing great. Give me another. Summarize what the hell's going on.
I've talked to him enough already, and now we want to hear from Jimmy.
What are you talking about?
I was asking him if his business was about dating, since that's all he was asking her about. So I was just trying to figure out why he was interested in that.
Excellent. So let's dive back in.
Now,
Now
he said he's asking men and women, so we wanted to get Jimmy's opinion on dating.
I'm a man.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification. I think our home audience agrees.
Yes. So I think he's going to ask you some questions about dating now. And if you need to find the woman of your dreams to live a happy life.
Are you an independent man who don't need no woman?
I want to put out here the camera work is incredible right now.
That's pretty good.
I don't know if I can't hear anything, but what I'm picking up is.
I mean, your shots are amazing.
I do well with compliments.
Oh, it's Chandler.
No, it's not about dating.
Oh.
He was just curious.
Yeah.
I know that.
I heard you.
Yeah.
A few times.
I have no agenda. He just he's been video logging things,
Yeah.
and we're just kind of going with this for fun.
Yeah, I think it's fun and funny when posed the right way.
You're a ham too.
I'm a handful, but I am.
Seems like one. I think I'm way past midlife. I'm here living past 70.
That on camera.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you're gonna lead this interview.
Okay.
Damon, no, whoa.
Oh, okay.
Let's settle
Okay.
down with the cameraman.
You know what? I want to interview him.
she wanted you to have asked, "Why are you here? What do you do?" Da da da. That's what she said. I didn't realize this until after, but she's like, "I want to interview him." I was like, "Oh, this will be interesting. Great. Set it up and you be the host or whatever." And then she just tried to.
She was trying to humiliate me.
Yeah.
And I was just like not
On
buying
your
into
thing.
it. Yeah, I was not buying into it.
Yeah. No, I think you held strong in there.
This we are ready for.
Oh, she's perfect.
I want to interview him. Can I?
Shit.
Yeah.
I grant you permission.
Alright, so what are we talking about now?
Okay.
My name is Natalie from Natalie's Stories, and we're at Mission Brewery in San Diego. And I have, what's your name? Damon, here with me in the hot chair. And we would like to ask him some questions, very hard-hitting questions. Damon, please state your age for the group. How old are you? You don't look 22. I'm sorry, I have to be blunt, but you don't look 22. Because my brother's 22 and the title.
You look 21 and a half, buddy.
23. But didn't you say you have a blog about midlife crisis? So at 22, are you having a midlife crisis?
No, I pretend to be another guy.
Oh, well, that's creepy. Do not answer any of David's DMs because he's all creepy. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm here in the hot chair, so I just have to watch you.
Keep going. He can take it. That the best you got?
Now, are you dating?
It's not going well.
And tell us, what is your motivation for dating? What are you trying to get at?
I think there's very much a social aspect to it.
She's done a lot of that. She does it for our brand as well.
You can tell.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So he's got a hard dating life, very hard. Now, would you say that you're into women or men? No one's judging.
I wish I was a man. I really do.
But what do you have against it?
Nothing.
Oh no. Are you a homophobe?
No, definitely not.
Okay, good.
I love gay people.
Because this is a very liberal state. Now, will you please tell the camera why you wish you were gay?
Why I wish I was gay? Because I just think it would be easy to achieve a relationship with a man.
Will you help me with
Why?
this?
Because we get each other more.
To get each other.
Yeah.
or what?
Women are a mystery to Damon. But yet he feels like he knows women. He asks them questions. Of course, no, maybe they can't hear you.
What we should do is get... Natalie, are you still interested in this conversation?
I'm sorry, but he lost me.
Okay.
They were like, would you just leave? And I was like, wait a minute, your friend was just interviewing me.
I don't know what provoked that, but what I read was somebody of all of them at some point was like, oh, this is probably one of these dating guys
yeah, exactly.
making a video on how to pick up a blonde.
That's what
Get rid of these guys.
That's what I felt like she was coming off as, because she kept trying to frame it that way, and I was like, no, I'm not.
I think that's what
this is not a dating channel.
I think somebody in there came up with that idea, and then they said, get these guys out of here. It's just going.
Yeah, but once we started talking,
where's this video going?
There was nothing I said that was like offensive or objectified her. I never said anything about her looks.
No. I'm just curious how she got to a point where she's like, fuck this guy, I want to take him down on his camera.
Yeah, no, I mean,
because that's what her agenda was.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
totally.
Whoa.
Yeah, and
how did that happen?
Exactly. So the only thing that I can think of is that she was saying she was 13 and I was saying that I was 14. I was like, oh, so you like older men? You like to date older men? She was
mad before that.
She was even mad before that?
Yeah.
So you were talking to her more before that then.
She had her agenda. Now that she had her agenda.
She said a few times that, like, she doesn't need men. I was like, oh no, totally. I think that's a better way to be, like, not need men. And then I don't know what that other woman who I was, the only very brief interaction I had with her, I was very nice to her. I was just nice. I wasn't
that I was standing by.
The one who said, you just need to go.
She's pounding you, but maybe you'll sort it out. You know, maybe you just need to, like, sit there and take the fire, and then she'll calm down. And then all of a sudden it escalated, and like several of them were like, you guys need to go. And I was like, oh, where did that come from? Yeah, I am glad to leave.
Right.
No problem.
If you want us to know that you don't want us here, just go cold and we'll get it. Like, we'll understand it. But it never went that way. She's asking me questions. She's talking, they're talking to you. That other guy's talking to me. They're all talking to us. They're all engaging us. So I didn't get the sense that, like, they wanted us to leave. If they had gone cold, I would go like, oh yeah, they want us to leave. Let's get out of here.
It's abrupt.
I was like, what did I?
One of them whispered, "Hey, these guys are running some scammy dating."
If our messages weren't connecting, then, like, hey, don't ask to do an interview with me. My last day in San Diego, and I'm kind of ready to get back. It's the last day of the summit, and I'm just overwhelmed. I'm just taking in so much information. I don't even want to call it knowledge yet, or like Ty Lopez would say, knowledge. It's not knowledge yet, because I'm not really implementing it. Part of this is what they want to do is they want to overwhelm you to the point where they're like, well, just pay us to do it. And fair enough. I mean, some things, especially when you have a business, you should pay other people to do it. Last night got weird. Things change rapidly when you're hanging out with these other sort of online entrepreneurs, and then you break out a camera. It was a bad vibe, and finally one of the women just said, would you leave? It's like, okay, maybe she's a YouTube celebrity. I think she does have a YouTube channel. She said her name, but I didn't recognize it. I'll have to go back and look. I don't like pissing people off. I don't like offending people. I don't like trying to make people look bad. I think that's lame. It's not my thing. We'll see if I see them today. I hope not. I just hope I don't see them at all ever again. And I hope that woman feels bad for being rude to me. Not too bad. It was kind of a weird trip. Not a bad trip, just kind of weird. I'm planning to go back because there was a lot of good information, and you meet some interesting people, and you hear about things that you would never hear about anywhere else. Something though that I didn't like, and I'll probably speak more to this in a different video, there's the constant message of scarcity and fear, and if you don't learn this, really bad things are going to happen, so come buy my stuff. I really don't like that, and I don't want to market that way. They wouldn't be doing that. They wouldn't be saying that if it didn't work. The reason why it works is because we're more focused on not losing something we already have rather than gaining something we don't have. And so there's a lot of stoking fear and anger, because fear and anger typically gets people to take action more so than incentivizing them. So for example, you threaten someone, they do this or else they're going to lose their job, they're more likely to do it than if you tell them, I'll give you a raise. This is part of the human condition. I don't like that humans are like that, and I think it's time to change. I'm not going to change the world, but this gonna sound really cheesy. Change starts with you. Change starts with me changing myself. So I, from this point forward, am committed to making decisions based on what I want to gain, not out of fear of losing something or anger because I don't have something that I think I should have. I'm stepping out of that. I'm done. I'm done with fear and anger. I mean, fear and anger happens. I'm not going to suppress it. It can be a good thing. It's a good alarm system, I always say, but I'm not going to make decisions based in fear and anger and scarcity and, oh, I got to learn that, oh, I got to learn this, and if I don't learn that, then my business is never going to be as good as it should be. No, if I can implement one good technique model, that's better than freaking out and blowing a bunch of money and not doing anything well, not doing any one thing well. That's all I have to say about that. This is the close of my trip to San Diego, February 2018.